In Myakka, you'll find alligators, panthers, and lemurs, certainly not in the wild, but in a Lemur Conservation Foundation. So can you tell our viewers what is a lemur?
So a lemur is a primate that's only found in Madagascar. A lot of people know the iconic ring-tailed lemur, but there's actually over 100 different species of lemur. And they range in size from a tiny mouse lemur that it's about the size of my hand to a now extinct lemur that was actually the size of a gorilla.
Oh my gosh. And how many different types do you have at your conservation area?
We have six different species at the reserve.
And how many lemurs?
We have 56 individuals, yes.
And how old do they get to be? I mean, how long can they live? What's their life expectancy?
It depends on the species, but the median life expectancy for a lot of the species is about 20.
Okay, all right. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Lemur Conservation Foundation, its programs, and what got you involved?
Sure. So the Lemur Conservation Foundation was started in 1996 by Penelope Beaudry Sanders. And she was leading a group to Madagascar with the American Museum of Natural History with Dr. Ian Tattersall, who's a famous paleontologist and lemur expert. And she was just completely blown away by the lemurs and the biodiversity, but she was also really alarmed by the alarming rate of habitat destruction and the imminent threat to the lemurs. So she decided to start an organization that was dedicated solely to saving lemurs from extinction.
Which I know they're very close to extinction. If your website was correct, it said there's only 14% of lemurs still thriving in the wild?
Yeah, Eric's going to talk a little bit about that too later, but the numbers are definitely great.
Yes, Eric, Dr. Eric, can you please tell us, I mean, why is it so important to save them? Because I know that there's...
Well, lemurs are both very, very rare and very unique. Like we were talking about, all of the lemurs are threatened by deforestation, human hunting, and selective logging. It's now recognized that lemurs are among the most endangered group of animals in the world, and roughly 90% of them are threatened with extinction. A quarter of them are what we call critically endangered. So about at least 25% of all of the 100-odd lemur species really face imminent extinction risks in the short term.
Okay. Now, what are you doing in Madagascar to help save them?
Well, we have 5 major projects: field research, ecotourism, environmental education, reforestation, and community development. Field research, we work with Malagasy students, so we're involved in training of local guides as well as university students, trying to promote the next generation of conservationists in Madagascar. One of our students now is working on a population survey to improve our counts, our census of the number of lemurs remaining in the main reserve that we're focused on, called Anjana Hari Besud Special Reserve, or ASSR for short.
Okay, and you can go there on an eco tour, right?
Yes.
I went on your website.
In fact, we've just developed a new tourist campsite called Camp Indri. And it's deep in the reserve with very nice accommodation, tent shelters, beautiful dining area, quiet picnic areas near the river. And we hope that will become a popular tourist destination in the years to come.
I would love to go. So what are some of the projects that you have coming up for your conservation area?
Well, last year we just started a 3-year Leap for Lemurs campaign to raise funds for some reserve enhancements to keep up with our growing lemur population. Yes. And CLR Designs generously donated plans for a 3rd lemur forest. So out at the reserve we have these very large forest habitats, which is a really enriching environment for the lemurs, but it also allows us to study their natural behavior, and we also have scientists that come out and study lemur behavior as well. So another forest, another lemur shelter, and a clinic and quarantine. And we're really happy that at the end of the first year, we've already raised half of the funds for our goal, which means that we can increase the much needed space for the critically endangered lemurs.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. There's so much more to hear. Again, our viewers can go to your website and find out more and find out what they can do to help you. And thank you for being advocates for these poor little creatures.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.